ليكن يومك للشعب ودادا ليكن حبك للأرض مداد قلم أنت فكم عبرت عنا وبنيت المجد أطوادا شداد أنت يا ملهم شعب.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Viewers, in this episode we are going to look at the third categories, the indecisives, those who are neither here nor there. Indecisiveness is a sickness of the mind, and those who are infected by it, they don't move on quickly in life because they don't know whether to go front or to go back. So when it comes to the matter of faith, those who have this kind of belief, they are worse than the outright disbelievers. مُذَبْذَبِينَ بَيْنَ ذَلِكَ لَا إِلَىٰ هَؤُلَاءِ وَلَا إِلَىٰ هَؤُلَاءِ. They are just going from one side to the other. They have never decided to be on the right side or on the left side. So these people, they want to pursue two rats. And when you pursue two rats at the same time, one is going to the west, the other one is going to the east, you lose the two. So that is what they do. So you find them in the masajid praying with the believers, and they will fasting with them. They even go to jihad, but you still find them on the other side too, with the disbelievers, claiming to be part of them, the idolaters, seeking their pleasure. Allah talks extensively about this kind of people in the Quran because it is usually difficult to identify them. Because how do you identify a chameleon? It keeps changing color. This time it's wearing green, the other time it's wearing black. You don't know where it belongs. In the language of Quran, Allah calls them the hypocrites, al-munafiqun. And He has given a verdict on them. Now, on the day of Qiyamah, inna al-munafiqina fi darakil asfal minar. The munafiqin will occupy the basement of fire. Falan tajida lahu nasira. You will never find help for them. So by nature, the hypocrites are usually proud, because they claim to be very smart than others, because they always want to be, they want to gain, they don't want to lose. So you see them when in politics, they'll be cross-carpeting from one party to the other just to get what they want desperately. And they don't know that some people are already on queue. They have to go and wait again for their turn. So in the deen, Allah describes them in His own time by saying, "Inna alladhina amanu thumma kafaru thumma amanu thumma kafaru thumma zdadu kufran lam yakun Allahu liyakfira lahum wa la liyahdihim tariqa." These are the people that they believe sometimes, they disbelieve the other times. They believe, they disbelieve. They are just in and out until they become ardent disbeliever. And Allah is not ready to forgive them, and is not ready to guide them to the right path. So when people advise them that why don't you just stay on one side, stay on one lane, why are you moving from one side to the other of the road? They will say, "Ana uminu kama amana sufaha." Are you saying we should believe like the fools? Allah says no. Allah innahum, they are the fools. Walakin la ya'lamun, but they may not know. Because of this deceiving nature of these people, they need to cover up a lot. And to cover up, they need to lie a lot. And to lie a lot, you need to swear on that so that you can make it real. So Allah dedicates a whole surah to them, Surah al-Munafiqun. إِذَا جَاءَكَ الْمُنَافِقُونَ قَالُوا نَشْهَدُ إِنَّكَ رَسُولُ اللَّهِ. When they come to you, they say, "Oh, we testify that we are the messenger of Allah, we believe." But Allah says they are liars. اتَّخَذُوا أَيْمَانَهُمْ جُنَّةً فَصَدُّوا عَنْ سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. They now use their swearing to cover up. وَاللَّهِ تَاللَّهِ, we believe in you. And they are liars because they are not real believers. So what are their key features? How do you know whether you fall into that category or not? The Messenger of Allah make it very clear. He mentioned 3 or 4 traits that you find in them. He said, "Ayat al-munafiqi thalath." The signs of the hypocrites are 3. إِذَا حَدَثَ كَذَبَ. When he talks, he lies. He's a liar. وَإِذَا وَعَدَ أَخْلَفَ. When he gives a promise, he will not fulfill the promise. وَإِذَا أُتُمِنَ خَانَ. When you give him a trust, he will betray the trust. Now, another nation is وَإِذَا خَاصَمَ فَاجَرَ. When he fights, he will not be on the right side. The sickness of hypocrisy came up when the Messenger of Allah got to Medina. It was not known in Mecca. because there was no need to pretend then. When they got to Medina and Islam had the upper hand, some people need to pretend so that they can cover up. So it was led by a man called Abdullah ibn Ubay ibn Salul. Who was this man? He was about to be crowned as the king of Medina when the Messenger of Allah came on migration. And because the light of Prophet was very light, very high, so they couldn't go ahead to crown him again. So he had two choices. Either he joins the believers and he pretends, or he stays outside. If he stays out, he will go to be ostracized because he will be a lone ranger, because Islam has covered all the houses. So he decided to go join the believer, but in his mind, he was not a real believer. So no matter how bad a cause may be, there will be people who will sympathize with him. So the sympathizers joined him and they formed a club called the hypocrites, munafiqun. They perpetrated a lot of atrocities in Medina, and they worked against Islam because they are insiders. They see inside, they see outside. So sometimes there was time they went to war, and with very little number of people. The Muslim believer have a very low number. Yet he still came back from 1,000. He returned 700 back home. So this man was a real problem in the cog of the wheel of the progress. At a point, he was trying to revive those feeling of tribalism that Messenger of Allah was trying to eradicate among the believers. Because before he came, there were Aus, there were Khazraj in Medina. These are the two clans, and they were always fighting. So he came to unite and say, all of you are Muslims. So don't see yourself as a Yoruba or Hausa, you are a Muslim, and you become one. So they form Ansar, these are the helpers, and the migrants. But this very man was trying to revive that feeling that don't you know that you are the son of the soil, so whatever. So they were coming from jihad one day, and they had a stopover. And this man was trying to cause this problem when there was a fight between two boys, a boy from Ansar and the boy from the migrants. Then he said, I've told you, these people that you host, you have told them you have empowered them. So by the time we go back to Medina, la yukhrijanna li'azum li'adhal. So those who are powerful, the noble one would now send out the mean one. He was referring to the prophet and the migrants as the mean one. So they reported the case of the prophet, and the prophet was very annoyed with him. In fact, his son was even offered to kill him so that they can get rid of him. But the prophet said, no, we are not going to kill him. We are going to manage him until he will die naturally. So those who fall into that category of people, Allah talks extensively about them in Surah Al-Baqarah, in Surah Al-Tawbah, and a whole surah was dedicated to them in Surah Al-Munafiqun. So believers, you need to decide. There is no space in the middle. It's either on you are on the right side or you are on the left side. Don't stay in the middle, because there is in Islam, it's either you are a believer or you are a disbeliever. The middle one is so disastrous. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
جميع الأشتات أنت مذ عرفناك تحب القوم جمعا لا فرادا في خليج ومحيط عرفوا زايد ذاك الشأن من بالبذل ساد